At exactly 6:13 p.m., Layla Carter stood in front of the mirror in her tiny apartment on the east side of town. Her hands trembled slightly as she adjusted the sleeve. She had done it. Her prom dress was finished. She was the only black girl in her senior class at Meadow Ridge High, a school where almost every face was white, and so were the rules for what was considered beautiful. But tonight, she wasn't going to try to fit in. She was going to stand out. The dress was bold. Deep maroon velvet hugged her waist, while gold fabric shimmered at the bottom, flowing like royalty. The lace trim came from her grandmother's old curtains. Every inch was hand-stitched with love, frustration, and pride. Her mom stood behind her, eyes full of tears. "Layla, you look like a queen." When they arrived, her Uber stopped outside the glowing gym entrance. The line of students turned. Silence. Then came the whisper. A white student near the door muttered, "Here comes the ghetto Cinderella." Jessica Palmer turned around. "Did she really come in? Curtains?" Someone laughed. Another one snapped a photo. Phones started recording. A security guard stepped forward, checking Layla's ticket twice, even though no one else's was questioned. She forced a smile. Her fingers clutched her purse tighter. "You wear it proud, baby. You walk in like you already belong." Her mother's words echoed in her head. Layla took a breath and walked, chin high, shoulders back. No one complimented her. Not one classmate said a kind word. She found a quiet spot near the snack table, alone. The laughter still echoed from across the room. She scrolled her phone, pretending not to notice. Across the room, Macy Jordan, one of Jessica's close friends, raised her phone and zoomed in, snickering. She snapped a photo of Layla standing alone in her handmade dress. She posted it with a mocking caption, "When you sew your own dress and show up like it's Fashion Week." Layla didn't see it. She was too busy holding back tears. Macy scrolled through her feed, pleased with herself. But what she didn't realize was that something had been set in motion. By the time the night ended, Layla still felt invisible in the room. But outside that gym, something had begun to rise. And the world was about to see her. The morning after prom, the photos start spreading. Layla doesn't even know what's happening yet until the phone starts buzzing. Layla woke up to the sound of her phone vibrating non-stop on her nightstand. She rubbed her eyes, still half dreaming, her mind stuck in the awkward memory of prom night. The stares, the laughter, the way no one spoke to her except the teacher, who quietly asked her to step aside for a minute, as if she didn't belong. She hadn't even posted any pictures. She didn't want to remember it, but her phone wouldn't stop. 10 missed calls, over 50 messages, Instagram notifications overflowing. Her heart skipped. At first, she thought something bad had happened. She opened her texts. "Girl, you're trending. Is this you? I swear, Layla, they're calling you the new fashion queen." She froze. She opened Instagram, and there it was. Her face, her dress, her standing tall in the corner of the prom. It was the photo Macy Jordan had taken, the one she posted as a joke with the caption, "When you sew your own dress and show up like it's Fashion Week." But something unexpected happened. The comments weren't mocking her. Someone had captured the light, hitting her gold hem just right, her skin glowing like bronze, her posture elegant. The internet didn't see a joke. It saw a queen. Someone changed the caption in a repost. "Black girl elegance. Y'all bullied her in person, but the world sees royalty." Over 80,000 likes, thousands of shares. She scrolled through the comments, her fingers shaking. "She made this dress? I'm crying. Black girl's been setting trends. Y'all just late. Someone get this queen on the runway. Who is she? We need her story." Layla's lips parted, but no sound came out. Her chest rose and fell as she sat on the edge of her bed. Her mom walked in with a cup of tea, wearing her old robe. "Your phone been buzzing all morning. You okay, baby?" Layla looked up slowly. "Mama, they're calling me beautiful." Her mom set the cup down and sat beside her. She didn't speak. She just pulled Layla into a soft, quiet hug. Layla's eyes burned. All her life, she had tried to dim her light so she wouldn't stand out too much at that school. She'd learned to shrink herself in classrooms, in hallways, in every group project where they asked her to just do the notes. But now, the world saw her. Someone knocked on the door. It was Mrs. Reynolds from across the hall. "Morning, hon. My daughter showed me your dress on Facebook. I just wanted to say, it was stunning." Layla nodded, still speechless. She checked her inbox. Messages from black fashion bloggers, stylists, even a small magazine asking for an interview. And then a name popped up that made her blink twice. Jessica Palmer. Hey, saw the post. Crazy how fast stuff spreads, right? You looked cool or whatever. No hard feelings? Layla stared at it. No apology, just a backhanded message trying to act like nothing happened. She didn't reply, because now she didn't need their approval. The world had already crowned her, and this was just the beginning. Layla stepped into the school hallway on Monday morning, and everything stopped. It was like the air had changed. Eyes turned, conversations paused. For the first time in 4 years, she wasn't invisible. She wasn't just that black girl who sat in the back. She was Layla, the girl in that dress. The girl the whole internet was talking about. She didn't need to scroll her phone anymore. She could feel it in the way people stared. Girls whispered, pretending not to. Boys who never looked at her were now nodding like they always saw her this way. Some even smiled. The same ones who stood behind Jessica laughing on prom night. Jessica herself was leaning against her locker, surrounded by her usual circle of followers. When Layla walked by, Jessica smiled, tight-lipped and forced. "Cute dress," she said. Layla paused, turned slowly. "Bit late for that," she replied, then walked away without waiting for a response. Her voice didn't shake this time. Whispers followed her down the hallway. "That's her. She's the one from the Post. Did you see her interview? She's going viral for real." By second period, her face was on the class projector. Her art teacher, Mr. Levin, cleared his throat. "Before we begin, I just want to highlight one of our own. Layla Carter created her own prom dress, and I think we all saw the internet's reaction. Layla, we're proud of you." The class clapped, but Layla wasn't sure how to feel. Where was all this pride 2 days ago? After class, her friend Jade, one of the only other black students in the school, caught up with her. "They don't get to flip the script now like they've always been in your corner," Jade said. "You were fire before they knew your name." Layla nodded. "Feels weird. Like, now that strangers say I'm enough, now they see it." She opened her locker and found a card taped inside. No name, just a handwritten note. "You changed something. Thank you." She stared at it, heart suddenly heavy. Not everyone was fake. Someone saw her, really saw her. During lunch, she sat under the tree outside, alone, on purpose. She needed space to breathe. Fame felt like 1,000 eyes on her back, even when she was still. She looked up and noticed Macy Jordan watching her from across the courtyard, the same girl who posted the photo in the first place. Their eyes met for a second. Macy quickly looked away. Layla didn't blink. She looked down at her phone. Another message, this time from a fashion institute in New York. "We'd like to talk about your future." Layla smiled for the first time that day, because finally, the future was calling. By Wednesday, the school halls weren't just watching Layla, they were whispering again. But this time, it wasn't about her dress. She didn't even make it herself. That magazine post was fake, probably her mom's friend. "I heard she paid someone online and is pretending it's her design." Layla sat in the library alone, scrolling through her messages. One DM caught her eye. Just wondering, "Did you really make that dress?" Asking for everyone. Sent from a fake account. No name, no photo. She didn't reply, but it hurt. Her story had gone from celebrated to questioned, all in a matter of hours. The fashion blog that interviewed her had posted the article that morning. Teen seamstress turns prom dress into viral statement. And now, the hate had restarted. Macy Jordan walked past her table with 2 other girls, speaking just loud enough to be heard. "I mean, anyone can lie online," she said. "All it takes is a few good angles and people eat it up." Layla didn't look up, but her jaw clenched. Jessica chimed in. "Yeah, I mean, it's weird that she never said anything about fashion before this week. It's like, convenient." The words sat heavy in Layla's stomach. Convenient. As if her pain, her struggle, her sewing machine burns were just part of a performance. At lunch, she walked through the courtyard, and the stares were back. But now they were different. Suspicious. Divided. Like everyone was waiting for her to mess up. She found Jade near the back fence and sat down without saying a word. "They're threatened," Jade said, passing her a water bottle. "You were never supposed to shine brighter than them." Layla looked up. "I didn't even ask for all this. I just made a dress." "Exactly. And they can't stand that it wasn't handed to you." You earned it. Layla nodded slowly. Later that night, she stared at her phone screen, reading the blog comments. Some were filled with love, others, cold, cruel, filled with doubt. She opened her Instagram story and typed, "For the record, I made my dress. Every stitch, every thread. I didn't need your approval then, and I don't now. Keep watching." She hit post, and for the first time, she didn't feel scared of their opinions. Let them doubt, let them whisper, let them scroll in silence while she rose, because Layla Carter wasn't done. She was just getting started. The email subject line made her heart stop. Urgent, Morning Wave TV interview request for Layla Carter. Layla stared at it, her thumb frozen above the screen. She blinked, then read it again. Morning Wave, the national morning show, the same show her mom watched every day before work, the same show that interviewed celebrities, fashion icons, and changemakers. Now, they wanted her? She read the email twice before whispering, "Mama." Her mom ran in, panicked. "What? What happened?" Layla looked up slowly. "They want me on TV." Her mom's hand flew to her mouth. She sat down slowly, trying to catch her breath. "TV?" Layla nodded. "Tomorrow morning. They said they'll fly me out tonight, all expenses covered. They want to talk about the dress." Her mom teared up instantly. "Baby, you did this." Layla wasn't sure what to feel. Part of her was excited, the kind of excitement that starts in your chest and moves all the way to your fingertips. But another part of her was terrified. What if she messed up? What if they asked the wrong question? What if Macy or Jessica saw it and twisted it again? Still, she knew she couldn't say no. That evening, as she packed a small suitcase with her mom's help, Jade sent her a voice note. "No matter what they ask you, speak from your heart. You're not just telling your story, you're telling ours." Layla played it twice, then tucked her phone away. At the airport, a woman from the network met her with a tablet and a smile. "You're trending hard," she said. "We've never had this much buzz over a teen designer." Designer. That word still felt strange, but beautiful. By 6:45 a.m. the next morning, Layla sat in a makeup chair under bright studio lights, her curls freshly shaped, her skin glowing. She wore the same dress from prom, the one they mocked, the one the world loved. A producer leaned in and whispered, "You're up in 30 seconds." Layla's palms were sweating. Then the host turned, smiling warmly into the camera. "Up next, she's 17, she's bold, and she's the face behind the prom photo that shook the internet. Layla Carter is here to tell us how one dress stitched from love, legacy, and lace is rewriting what beauty looks like in American schools." The music swelled. Layla breathed in. The lights came up. The camera turned. And suddenly, across the state, people were tuning in to hear her voice. By the time Layla got back home, she couldn't even step into school without hearing, "Can I get a picture with you? My cousin saw you on TV. You're famous now, Layla." It felt like walking through a different world. Teachers smiled like they'd always been supportive. Students who never spoke to her before now waved across hallways like old friends. And Jessica? She'd switched tactics completely. "Layla," she called out, rushing up beside her at lunch. "You looked so confident on that interview. I mean, wow, you're totally inspiring." Layla stared at her. Jessica continued talking, pretending they were best friends. "I was actually thinking, you should totally come to my graduation party. Like, everyone would love to see you there. It'll be a vibe." Layla tilted her head slightly. "You mean the same everyone who laughed at my dress 2 weeks ago?" Jessica's smile wavered. "I mean, we were just joking. You know how prom nights are. People get silly. But honestly, we're proud of you." Layla didn't smile. "You weren't proud. You were loud." She turned and walked away. The applause Layla had once dreamed of now felt cheap when it came from people who only clapped because the world told them to. By afternoon, she received a message from her guidance counselor. "Hey Layla, I know it's sudden, but there's a scholarship board interested in young fashion creators. They saw your interview. They'd like to meet you." Layla stared at the message. 2 weeks ago, she didn't even feel seen at that school. Now they were lining up to offer her future. That night, she sat with her mom at the kitchen table, holding the card that had been slipped into her locker weeks ago. "You changed something. Thank you." Layla finally understood what that meant. She hadn't just gone viral, she had cracked something open. She showed every other girl who was too dark, too different, too unseen, that it was okay to shine anyway. Her mom reached over and touched her hand. I know this has been a lot, baby, but do you see it now? See what? Her mom smiled softly. You were never the problem. Layla blinked. She exhaled, and for the first time since prom, the tightness in her chest loosened. Later that week, as she walked through the school courtyard, she saw Macy Jordan off to the side, watching her. Their eyes met. Macy gave a quick, awkward wave. Layla didn't wave back. She didn't need to. She wasn't chasing approval anymore. She was walking in her own story, and this time, she was writing every line. 3 weeks after the interview, Layla received an email with a subject line that made her heart skip. Urban Style brand collaboration proposal. Urgent. Urban Style. The fashion brand that used to skip over girls who looked like her. Now they were offering her a deal. A full campaign. Her face, her name, her story, everywhere. She clicked the file. Photo shoot details, styling plans, pay, visibility, and then the caption mock-up for the first ad. From outsider to icon, how she beat the odds. Layla frowned. Beat the odds? She wasn't some charity story. She was always enough, even when the world looked away. This didn't feel like celebration. It felt like control. She sat with the offer all night. Her mom stayed quiet, just watching her. What's wrong with the deal? She finally asked. Layla hesitated. They want me to play the role they created for me. Humble, grateful, lucky, but I'm not lucky. I worked. The next morning, she replied, Thank you for the offer, but I must decline. I won't let anyone repackage my story into something it's not. Then she shut her laptop. She expected doubt. Instead, she felt peace. That afternoon, the school held a senior awards assembly. Jessica won Best Smile. Macy got Most Popular. But when the final award was announced, the principal cleared his throat. This next one is not about popularity. It's about courage. This student reminded us that creativity doesn't need approval to be valuable, and that the most powerful voices often begin in silence. Layla Carter, please stand. The entire room turned. Layla slowly rose. A wave of applause rose to meet her. But this time, she wasn't smiling for them. She was smiling for the girl who had stitched her dress under a flickering bulb, who had walked past mocking stares, who had dared to be visible even when it was uncomfortable. After the assembly, students came up to her, some with hugs, some with stories, others just wanting to be near her light. But the best part? A freshman black girl approached her, eyes wide. I'm making my own dress next year. I just wanted to say thank you for showing me I can. Layla hugged her tightly. You don't need anyone's permission to be seen. That night, Layla sat on her bed, phone off, lights dim. She had turned down money. She had turned down fake friends. But what she had gained, that was priceless. The day of graduation came like a quiet storm. The sky was clear, the breeze gentle, but something in the air felt heavy, not sad, just meaningful. Layla stood in front of her mirror one last time, not to fix her hair, not to adjust a dress, but to look herself in the eyes and say, You made it. Her mom stood at the door, dressed in her Sunday best, holding back tears. They thought you'd fade, baby, but you rose. Layla smiled, and I'm not done yet. The auditorium buzzed with energy. Parents waved, students adjusted caps, teachers lined up, pretending not to cry. Layla walked in quietly, cap low, her gold stole gleaming against her gown. She didn't need an announcement. People noticed when she walked in now. When her name was called, the room erupted. Not just the usual applause, but a standing ovation. Even some teachers wiped their eyes. She walked across the stage slowly, proudly. Her principal handed her the diploma with a whisper. You reminded us why courage matters. Thank you. After the ceremony, group photos began. Jessica approached her again, this time without a fake smile. I just wanted to say, I was wrong, about you, about everything. Layla looked at her. I know, she said, but I'm not here for apologies. I'm here for impact. She walked away. That evening, Layla returned to her room, her gown folded, her phone buzzing with new offers, new features, new interviews. But she sat in silence. She picked up the card from her locker, the one that read, You changed something. Thank you. She turned it over for the first time, a tiny signature. Mrs. Carter, school janitor. She blinked. The woman who cleaned the halls had been watching her the whole time. Tears slipped down her cheek. Layla picked up her phone and started a new post. I walked through those hallways invisible. They laughed at my dreams, my dress, my skin, but I walked anyway, because I wasn't made to blend in. I was made to break through. If you're reading this, you don't need their permission. You only need your purpose. For the girls who felt unseen, prom queen in her own right, black girl elegance. When she clicked post, she didn't care how many likes it got, because the real win wasn't the fame. It was knowing that someone else, maybe a scared, brilliant 14-year-old girl sitting alone in a sewing room, would see it and believe she could rise too. Layla Carter had walked into prom a punchline, but she left high school a legacy, and they would never forget her name. If you could say one thing to Layla right now, what would it be? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're reading everyone. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this.